Very good morning, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Vikrant Sudhakar Palekar. I am working as an assistant professor in Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Jawahar, Palghar. Welcome in the series of lectures on the topic stereochemistry. In earlier videos, we have understood some of the basic concepts related with the stereochemistry, and we are basically studying the stereochemistry of the molecules which do not have a stereogenic, that is chiral center present in them, but still they exhibit the optical activity. There, as we have understood, there are three families. First is cumulin, second is biphenyls, and spirins. In this particular session, we are going to see the stereochemistry related with the biphenyls. In earlier session, we have seen in case of the cumulins, and we have come to know that when you have the unsymmetrical substituent present at terminal carbon atom, the cumulins exhibit the optical activity with even number of double bonded compounds. In this particular session, you will see for biphenyls. As we know that biphenyls are the compound which do not have any asymmetric center present in them, right? Where you will find the two phenyl rings, they are connected to one another by means of a single bond. Okay, so a carbon-carbon single bond which is connecting two benzene rings, such a type of compounds are called as a biphenyls or diphenyls. So what we can observe, whatever the carbon-carbon single bond is present in between the two rings, it is pivotal. Pivotal means what? It can be easily rotatable. Okay, so it is undergoing a free rotation. Hence, because of the free rotation, the molecules can become coplanar. So both the rings you will observe in one plane, either in this particular plane or in this particular plane. Okay, when you have plain biphenyl structure. Hence, unsubstituted biphenyl means when there is no substituent present in the benzene rings, that is in the plain biphenyl substrate systems, it is achiral, because this particular structure and its mirror image will get superimposed. So the moment you have the superimposable mirror images, you will lose the chirality. So such structures are achiral. Okay, for planar system where you will not have observed any substituent present. But the moment you have the unsymmetrical substituent present, means at ortho position, as we know that for this particular ring, this is a ortho position, this one is ortho, this one is ortho, this one is ortho, this one is ortho. So in one ring there are two ortho position, 2 2 dash, in another ring 6 6 dash. These are the ortho positions. So this ring this substituent is A and this substituent is B, means they are unsymmetrical. In another ring, this is B, this is A, means they are different. So when you have the unsymmetrical substituent present at ortho position, this one and this one and this one and this one, so what will have, this compound will show chiral nature, or they will exhibit the optical activity and they can be easily resolved. Okay, this is need to be understood. The ortho substituent present, they must be different. Already there are substituent is present. Here is H, here is H, here is H, here is H. So in the plane systems, you will find that there are same substituent is present. So for same substituent, you will not show any chirality. For same substituent, let us see for this particular structure, they are same. A means they are same, B they are same, and see the stereochemistry. Okay, so what will happen for some symmetrical substituent, what I can find, if I pass a plane which is going from this particular point and which is bisecting the molecule into two halves, means it is a plane of symmetry. So what you can observe, in case of the plane of symmetry, the upper part and lower part, they are mirror images of one another. So due to the plane of symmetry and presence of symmetrical substituent at ortho position, you will have symmetry element is present. So as we know that once the symmetry elements are present, whether it is a plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, or axis of symmetry, the molecule will not show any optical activity. So such a kind of molecules will be achiral and cannot be resolved. Remember, this substituent must be different, just like this structure. Okay, your ortho substituent must be different, then and then it will exhibit the chiral structures. So why it is so? Why only unsymmetrical substituent are showing the chirality? Let us try to understand. Let us see this particular structure first. What we can see, in this particular ring, one substituent is bromo, one substituent is iodo, so it satisfies criteria. Both are different. And another ring, this is also different, this is also different. So here you can see the stereochemistry. One ring is in this particular plane, while another ring is in this particular plane. Okay. So what happens? Although there is a single bond present, the free rotation is not possible. It becomes restricted. The now two rings cannot move. Means one ring can remain in the one plane while another ring will remain perpendicular to it. So what we observe, the interconversion is not possible, means there occurs a restricted rotation. Now two rings cannot move, just like things we are restricting its movement. Why it is so restricted? Because of the presence of bulky substituent, just like a halogens. As we know that halogens are quite bulkier. So because of the steric hindrance, there occurs a very no movement is allowed. That's why it will exhibit chirality. Because of presence of unsymmetrical substituent, and that too they are bulky, so free rotation becomes restricted. So here you can see the moment it becomes planar for this particular structure. What you find, both the rings becomes planar, although it is very less probable possible, but it will exhibit achirality, because what will happen, it will superimpose on its mirror images. So this particular structure becomes achiral. So you can observe two structures, this structure and this structures. This is the only difference, like just like this one, this will perpendicular, like in another structure what will observe, like this. So these two structures are staggered conformations. So both the structures are, this structure and this structure is chiral because of the restricted rotation. So what you can observe, this is a planar structure. For planar conformation, the biphenyl derivative are too sterically crowded, so compound has no rotation around the carbon-carbon single bond, so it is a locked conformation. The moment you have the locked conformation, the molecule become planar and it will lose its optical activity. So the group at ortho position behave as an obstacle and restrict the free rotation around the single bonds. Hence two benzene rings cannot become coplanar. म्हणजे काय की when you have the ortho groups present at substituent is present in ortho position, the rotation becomes restricted, just like these ortho groups acts as an obstacle in between their free rotation. Okay, so this is not allowed. So for this particular structure, staggered conformations are chiral while eclipse is achiral. Now this is a very important phenomenon and very interesting also, atrope isomerism. Atrope isomerism is nothing but what we have seen in earlier slide. Atrope isomerism is just a phenomena where you will observe a restricted rotation around a single bond between two phenyl rings. Restricted means what? These rings remain in this plane only. They will not become coplanar or like this one or this one. They will always remain like this one. This movement is restricted. So such a phenomena is called as a restricted rotation, and resulting two non-superimposable mirror images. and this particular isomerism is called as attrop isomerism. It is a type of stereoisomerism. And whatever the stereoisomer generated, just like in the previous slide, we have seen two staggered structures. They are stereoisomers. So we can say these two structures are attrop isomers. Okay. So remember this particular attrop isomerism, very important in terms of short note. On let us see example. This example is familiar to you. What is the structure? It is having two substance. One is nitro. See, first thing, let us see first ring. Will it satisfying our criteria? One substance is nitro, another substance is COH. So allowed. One is nitro, another is COH, allowed. So this particular molecule will exhibit the optical activity. And these two structures are stereoisomers. Rather, I will say they are enantiomers of one another. As we know that enantiomers are non-superimposable mirror images. So this is one structure is, another is R. So this structure will show the optical activity. Same structure you can see in this way also, just like a normal. What is the name? 6666 dash. If you know the numbering, how to give the numbering. If I give 1 2 3 4 5 6 in this way, then 1 2 1 dash 2 dash 3 dash 5 dash 6 dash, so it is a 6 dash. So next thing, nitro, COH, unsymmetrical substance, COH, nitro, unsymmetrical substance. So no question. So this particular structure will be optically active and will be achiral. If you see the planarity, this ring will be perpendicular to plane, while another ring will be in the plane. Suppose this is a perpendicular, this will be planar, just like this one. These two rings will not be in same plane. You can see the chirality. So this is a very important criteria which make the molecules to be optically active, because of the presence of bulkier unsymmetrical substance present at ortho position. So it restricts the rotation of carbon-carbon single bond. Now we will see the examples, okay, where you have to answer which particular compound is active and optically inactive. You have to justify your answer. Okay, prepared, ready. See the structure and try to explain whether it is optically active or inactive. See the substance nitro. Here is nothing, means here must be H, right? So they are different. So unsymmetrical substance OH, NO2, different. So it is optically active. And what is the answer? As both the unsymmetrical substance are present and there is no plane of symmetry which is passing, so this particular molecule will be optically active. See the example. COH, COH, symmetrical. NO2, NO2, symmetrical. So I will have a plane of symmetry which is passing. So what will have? The upper part and lower part will become mirror images. So the molecule will have the plane of symmetry present. So molecule will become optically inactive. Remember, this is thing to be seen very carefully. Both the ortho substituent are same. Both the ortho substituent are same. What is our criteria? Both must be different. See this particular structure. COH, H, COH, H. Although it has unsymmetrical substance present, but it has only two ortho substance. While this particular structure, how many ortho substance? 3. How many ortho substance? 4. Here are only two ortho substance. Although there is a substance present at 4 and 4 dash, but as there is only one group is there, so what will happen? Free rotation becomes possible, and moment you have the free rotation possible, the molecule lose its chirality. Coplanar means it is a optically inactive, that is achiral. So free rotation is possible for this particular compound. See it very carefully, remember it. 4 4 dash. Our concern must be the ortho substance. Now try to answer. Again the same condition, only two ortho substituents are there. Okay, so free rotation is possible, as we know that COH group is not that much bulky enough to restrict the free rotation. So ortho substituent must be at least 3 or rather 4. There are some exceptions, with the 2 substituent only they can exhibit, but you should have the bulkier ortho groups must be present in order to have the chirality present. So see for this particular structure very carefully, COH H H COH. So this particular structure you can see only two ortho substituents are present, but SO3H group present at ortho position in both the rings is quite bulkier enough, so it will restrict the rotation, and moment it restrict the rotation it will become the chiral. The molecule will be perpendicular, both the rings are perpendicular. So remember SO3H group is very bulkier, so due to this you will have the, for this particular structure it is a chiral structure. So as we seen in case of the nomenclature of R and S, where we assign the priority order based upon the groups. So just like things we have to remember. Optical activity of biphenyls depend upon the size of the substituent in ortho position. Size of the groups. So this is the order. See this particular thing, the steric hindrance produced by the various group restricting the free rotation about the pivotal bond in the order of. As much as bulkier group you have at ortho position, it will restrict the rotation. So it is a very important criteria. And see this particular order. Iodo group is bulkier, then bromo, then CH3, then Cl, then nitro, then COH, then OCH3, fluoro, and H. H is the lowest bulkier group. And here you can see halogens are bulkier. COH group as compared to it is not a bulkier. We have seen in case of this example. So that's why it is a chiral. It is not that much particular bulkier. So this particular thing you need to remember in order to have the free rotation. Let us see the stereochemistry part. As we have seen, in case of the biphenyls, there is a free rotation is possible. When in case of the unsubstituted biphenyls, the moment you have the bulkier substituent present in both the rings at ortho position, what will happen? The rings become perpendicular. Okay, so now you will find one ring is one plane while another phenyl ring in another plane. So there is a restricted rotation and both the rings are perpendicular right now. Okay, this is a very example of atropisomerism. When you have the bulkier substituent just like SO3H group present, so what will again the same thing you will have. There is a restricted rotation around carbon-carbon single bond and becomes this particular structure becomes optically active. So this thing we have to remember in case of the biphenyl stereochemistry, which group is bulkier, which group is making that particular ring to be restricted. So I think this particular sessions will help you in order to understand the stereochemistry of the families which they do not have stereogenic center but still they exhibit the optical activity. Go through the sessions of stereochemistry of cumulines and stereochemistry of biphenyls. I hope you will understand, and it will help you to easily identify which particular cumulin is optically active, which is not, how the symmetry elements are playing a very important role in order to deciding the optical activity of the compound, and which structures, and stereochemistry part is very important. So go through this session very carefully. This is one of the important topic which need to be studied and very simple to understand also. Thank you very much for this session. See you in the next sessions.